Hey, welcome back to the How to Podcast series. It's Dave with you. Hope you're doing well. We are going to meet some very interesting people today on the podcast. Some people you need to know. And there's a show that I've been watching on YouTube. It's interesting. Okay, imagine this. Comedians come into a studio. They get made up in a costume that they didn't select. They don't really know exactly what's happening to them until they're revealed. And then they have to be a new character based on their makeup and their getup and their clothes and their new appearance. And then they have to be interviewed on a show called Very Important People. And one of the episodes that I love the most, that I keep watching over and over again, is Tommy Shriggly is the character, and he is a motivational speaker, mental health advocate. He finds money in parks, and he's got a supplement to help you as well. It's kind of like The Worst Podcast, but hilarious. Now, I'm going to play a couple little clips out of it, but you should just go watch the whole thing because it's a visual thing and you'll see things that amuse Dave. So if you want to know a little bit more about me and what I find funny and entertaining, then you're going to love this. So I'll put the YouTube link in the chat. This video's got over 1.6 million views. So yeah, it's pretty good. And if for those, you can see on the album art on YouTube if you're there. But Tommy has like those little baby hands that you see people using on social media and stuff that look like little tiny infant hands. And he's got like massive muscle neck and a mohawk. And he is just like built. And he likes to make people clap and get people pumped up. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the fact that as podcasters, you're like, Dave, what is this all about? As podcasters, we need to play more with who we are. I think sometimes we get a little buttoned up. We get a little bit too inside of our heads and we don't play anymore as a creative person. Now, I'm not expecting you to do anything remotely close to Tommy's character in this video that you can watch through the link in the show notes. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking you to go beyond what you would call your regular, everyday you on your show and play a little bit. We have this thing called our creative side in our podcast and how we show up. And it's kind of like an instrument. We need to learn how to play our instrument. There's more to us than just the basic chords, the basic melody, and the repeatable things that we do. There's a side of us that could be unlocked by just simply stepping into someone else's character, assuming their persona, and being creative. I think your audience is going to love it. So here's a little bit from the episode. And again, a link in the show notes. Please go watch the whole thing, like and subscribe and do all this stuff on YouTube for this channel. It's really, really good. And I hope you have fun with this. But go watch the video and maybe come back. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Zac. I feel pretty relaxed, but also like the floor is about to fall out from under me and I'm going to start skydiving. It does seem like they're really going for it from what I've gathered from all the equipment around me.
Today, we're giving this comedian a total transformation. They have no idea who or what they're about to become.
I feel like I'm wearing one of those like airplane neck pillows.
Once they see themselves in the mirror, they'll have to make up a character on the spot and then sit down with me for an improvised interview. This is very important, people.
I don't know what I'm holding now. Are they hooves? Oh my God. I thought I was like a bull. This is so scary. I feel so grossed out. Oh, I didn't even notice my tiny ear. That makes so much sense. I've been going around talking to people and going like, by the way, I basically can't hear.
So there we go. Well, that's the beginning of the episode. You got to go check it out. I'm not going to play the whole thing in here because, again, I didn't create it. So I want you to go watch. It's really, really fun. The big thing I want to put in front of you as a content creator is, yeah, I get it. Not everybody's going to be doing weird and outlandish things like what you're going to see in this video, and I totally understand. But at the same time, if you want to be more engaging with your audience, if you want to connect better with your audience, you got to show a little bit of personality. You got to show a little bit of who you are. The person that you are when you're among friends, not the person that you are when you're among strangers. Now, there's a time and a place for everything, right? I don't expect you to be too casual and cavalier in front of an audience when you're speaking at an event and you're the keynote speaker. Yeah, that's a persona. You are actually demonstrating that persona. When you stand up in front of a group of strangers and present your talk, that's a persona. Everybody that does a TEDx talk, personas. A comedian on stage, persona. Musician like me on stage, persona. We tap into a different compartment of who we are when we get put into these situations. When it comes to podcasting, what I'm finding with the podcasters that I work with is they have basically one gear. They have one way of doing their show, one way of showing up for their audience. And it's what they're comfortable with. So if they're a quiet person, they stay quiet. If they're a loud and boisterous person, they do that. I want you to understand there's other elements of who you are as a creative person that you could tap into. What I love about this show, Very Important People, is that it takes a comedian who thinks quickly on their feet, can react in real time, and assume a character, which is hilarious. But it shows you somebody who knows how to play their instrument and play different chords and play different parts and be a different version of themselves, to be playful, just to be playful. Now, if you have a serious podcast and you talk about serious things, then, obviously you're not going to be a comedian on your show. That makes no sense at all. But you could be a little more compassionate. You could be a little bit more introspective. You could be a little bit more encouraging. There's an element of what you do that could be complemented by a different side of who you are. And you don't know who that is until somebody gives you feedback. So when I listen to podcasts, I hear people who are playing to their strengths. People who are playing to what they're familiar with. There are a lot of keys on the piano. And what I'm finding is people have picked 3 or 4 of their favorite keys on the piano and they just play those notes, those single notes. And that's enough for them. I'm telling you, there's a whole world of notes on that keyboard available to you and a lot of options. Way more options than you have fingers. So you can really tap in and do some really creative things with all of the keys on your keyboard, all of the strings and frets on your guitar, all of the things your voice can do. There's a lot of options for you. And what I'm finding is people are playing to the middle. They're doing kind of what's comfortable, not too much of extra and not too less, but just kind of where it feels comfy as a creator. I'm challenging you to go beyond that. Now, use this example, this video of Tommy on Very Interesting People, Very Important People, and take this clip of Tommy on the show and use it as a kick in the butt to say, can I find more? Can I tap into something more from who I am? It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to be playful and to experience something and to show the audience the more comfortable side of you. This is going to come over time too. This isn't going to happen overnight because you haven't used these notes before. You haven't played in this range before. You haven't tapped into this side of you. And it's going to be uncomfortable, but your audience is going to really lean in. There have been times in my podcast where I have shared some pretty difficult things from my life, my story, my mistakes, my humanity. And then there's times where I'm light and it's happy and it's goofy. There are different elements and different gears that I've been learning how to use. And when I lean into those things, I find that my audience responds. It's not the same episode every single week, every single day for this show. There's different elements of me that I feel I'm developing, and I'm willing to develop them in front of an audience. If you want another perspective, think of an actor. Let's talk Robin Williams, for example. Comedic genius, timing, personality, and so many different versions of Robin Williams. From the guy that's making everyone laugh to the guy that makes everybody think. Different characters throughout the years in TV and movies. Mrs. Doubtfire, Mork and Mindy, Good Morning Vietnam. You're seeing all these different pieces of him. And he's an actor. He gets paid to do this. He gets paid to be a different person. Like this Tommy character on Very Important People. He is playing a character. That's not the real guy. That's not the guy you see every day. But he's playing a character. Robin Williams dressed up as Miss Doubtfire. That's not Robin Williams. But he's playing a character. He knew how to play his instrument. He had different gears, different places to go. Jim Carrey, another one. Mike Myers, right? All of these actors have different versions of themselves, and it allows them to have some flexibility to take on parts, to be in different roles, and to show up as needed for the project in front of them. Not Mike Myers doesn't do the same character in every movie, right? He doesn't. He's got Wayne, and then he's got Dr. Evil, and then he's got So I Married an Axe Murderer. He's got all these different ones that he gets to step into. Shrek, right? There's so many different versions of Mike Myers, which allows him the flexibility to go anywhere. And what I'm finding when I work with podcasters is they don't have that flexibility yet. They haven't learned what they can do. And when we start working on elements of their personality and allowing them to be more them and less boxed in and predictable, the unpredictability of your character that's magnified through your creative process of creating your show just opens the door to more and more and more. And it comes in time. That's the key. This is not something that you need to worry about in your first 10 episodes. This comes over time. Being less predictable invites people to lean in. We don't know what we're going to get next from you because it's not a predictable, anticipated version of you. Episode to episode, week to week, day to day, month to month, year to year. When you throw us a curveball, it makes everybody pay attention. And this little clip from the recording is so hilarious to me. Because Tommy's character is talking about finding some money at the park and what he did with it. And what he does in real time is there's no script. And there's another part of this. There's no script to any of this that's happening on this video. So for those of you that love to be scripted and just follow your scripts, this is not that. This is because what happens in this clip just kind of happens. And you can actually hear their response as they chuckle through this because it's not what either one of these people were intending to happen in this point in the conversation. But here's Tommy talking about finding some money at the park. And what happened?
How does that lead you to the power of positivity? That moment 10 years ago that led you to choose to live this life.
I found $100,000
You found $100,000?
Yeah.
Where?
in the park
Where in the park?
by the swing set.
Just lose $100,000 in the
in
park?
the bag.
Did you know it was going to be there?
No,
Why were you in the park?
I was working out.
Okay, so then what did you do with the
I
$100,000?
invested it and then I turned it into $16,000.
Tommy, you invested 100,000. Tommy, you invested 100. Tommy, you turned $100,000 into $16,000.
And then from there, everything was gravy.
So you take $100,000 and turn it into $16,000. And you caught the chuckle, right? You caught the laugh, the response. It's unexpected. It's not what either one of them had intended. And for me, as somebody watching this and listening to this, that's what makes me want to come and share this with you as an example, right? Again, as I'm watching and listening to this, I'm thinking, how can we help podcasters to be not a copy of this, not to emulate this and this be your measuring stick for success in podcasting, but how can we tap into a side of us that we hold back for the people that we know and love, but we don't share with the world? What if we could be a little bit more entertaining? A podcast is entertainment. It's information, it's encouragement, it's companionship, it's content that's meant to help people. But we're really here to entertain. We're here to fill up someone's time and be a companion with them. And the more we can let down our guard and be us, the us that we are around the people we know and love and trust the most, the better. Do you know, love, and trust your audience in the same way that you know, love, and trust your best friend? The best friend that you can be silly around and lower your guard. I find a lot of podcasters going into content creation with their guard all the way up, surrounded by safety of the walls around them to keep the public away, and they only give you what they give you, and that's it. That's all you get from me. I don't find people leaning into that from a listening perspective because they feel like there's something between us, and there is. It's a safety mechanism to keep the world away. And as podcasters, I think we need to lower that down. You need to be safe. You need to protect yourself. I get all that. I totally understand and it makes a lot of sense. But I still think there's room for us to show a little bit more humanity and a little bit more connection. So my challenge for you in your next episode is how can you show a little bit more of you in maybe how you talk to the audience, how you address them, how you approach your guest. To not be so standoffish, but more engaged and closer in conversation with them. More connected, more engaged, and more you. The more you we get, the better. The less of you, it's harder to connect with you. So I'm challenging you to think about how you can approach this in a way that allows you to assume a character that's a little bit more of an exaggerated version of you. I am an introvert. And you might listen to some of my episodes and go, no, he's not. Yeah, I am. It takes a lot of effort in public settings to be me. It's a little easier behind a microphone by myself in an empty house to record this content for you. I don't need the outside stimulus that an extrovert needs. I don't need throngs of people around me to feel complete like an extrovert does. I don't. I'm much better on my own. I'm much better doing this without you even here because it's under my terms. It's not depleting. That's how I show up. But I know that I need to assume a character. I need to assume a different, exaggerated version of myself when I go out into public, when I speak in front of people, when I do virtual things online for podcasting, when I lead my meetup group, when I interview my guests and I have a guest sitting there on my screen staring at me. I know I got to be a little bit more than the average Dave, a better version of me. And in being that, it allows me to connect with my audience in a way that I can't do on my own if I just give them the basics. It's time to show them everything. It's time to be open and connective and engaging with my audience. And that's my encouragement for you. I hear so much potential in podcasters. If only they would just allow a little bit more of themselves to show up. And that's my encouragement for you today. It's not meant to admonish you or make you feel like you're not good enough. I'm just here to say there's more of you that your audience would love to know. And as you feel comfortable, as you grow, put this in front of yourself as a goal, that I'm going to be a little bit more engaging, a little bit more of myself, and I'm going to allow people to see some of the goofy side of me, the fun side of me, the inquisitive side of me, curious side, and not be so guarded all the time, not to hide behind who I let the world see. There's a version of me that hasn't come out yet. And Tommy is an exaggerated version of Zac, the character, the comedian playing Tommy in this clip. But there is something engaging about this video that makes me go back and watch it over and over again. So go watch it. I'd love to get your feedback, howtopodcast.ca, and maybe an action step. Like, what's one thing you're going to exaggerate or amplify about you on your next episode? howtopodcast.ca. Let me know. I'd love to hear. Thanks for being here. And Tommy, I'll get a little clap. A little clap. I just need a little clap. A little clap. All right. Tommy, thanks for motivating me. A little clap. Yeah. And if you ever find $100,000 and you want to turn it into $16,000, reach out to Tommy. He's got a little clap. He's going to help you. A little clap. All right, Tommy. Thanks. Thanks, everybody. Keep clapping. Keep being motivated. We'll talk soon. Take care. Hey, thanks for being here. Thank you for listening to the end of the podcast. You're here with me. I'm so grateful. I want to put something in front of you. For the person that's listened this far, you're my new best friend. So what I'm trying to do every month is I have a goal, and you can help me with this goal. Very simple. What I'm trying to do is have 5 conversations this month with listeners of the How to Podcast series. You don't have to have a podcast to respond. This can be the first time ever that we're going to have a conversation, but I'm looking to talk to 5 people. Now, you're still here, so you're one of the people that I would love to talk to next. So on my howtopodcast.ca website is a calendar, and I'd love to have you respond on howtopodcast.ca. Just click the calendar link, set up time in my calendar, and in the comment section for the meeting, just put something like listener. That's it. If you have a show, put it in the comments too so I can go listen. But if you don't, I just want to talk to 5 listeners every month from now to the end of the month. So if you're listening to me right now, you're the person I want to talk to. And through howtopodcast.ca, you and I can get together, chat about the show, chat about your journey as a podcaster. Where are you at? What do you need this show to become for you? What's missing? Your feedback. I just want to meet you. And as podcasters, I would encourage you to do something similar to this in your podcast so that you can meet and interact with your audience. So, howtopodcast.ca, I'm looking to talk to 5 people every month, and I would love for you to be one of them. Reach out. It's free. I'm not selling you anything. I just want to talk to you at howtopodcast.ca. Let's get in the calendar and chat. Thanks for listening. You're still here? Great. Excellent. Make sure you go watch the video for this episode, and watch Tommy on very important people. It's a I watched it like 3 times today. It's really, really good. A little bonus tip for you. When you are looking to promote your show, one thing I think a lot of podcasters miss is giving your audience the words to describe your show. Helping them to be able to explain your podcast to their friends without you there to help qualify what's being said, prompt them, any of that. You're not there. And person A is talking to person B about your show. You got to give your audience the words to say so that they know how to talk about you when you're not there. You can't just assume that your audience knows how to promote your show. So give them the words. So if I was to give you the words for this show, for you to tell somebody about my podcast, it would be the How to Podcast series is a podcast about podcasting, but it's so different. It's not all the microphone talk. It's not all of that stuff. It's not all the technology. It's about how to create a podcast that's built around community. It's built around a world where there's no rules. And it's built in a way to make everybody feel welcome in podcasting, and that podcasting is possible for everyone and anyone that wants to start a podcast. If you listen to this show, you're going to be encouraged along your journey as a podcaster. That's the How to Podcast series. Those are the kind of words that I would love for you to use when you talk about this show. And you need to formulate for your audience in a very succinct way how to explain your show in simple terms to somebody else. Come up with that and give your audience the words to say. You can use it as your intro, you can use it as your outro, but I would actually instruct your audience to say, if you love my show and you want to tell somebody about it, here are the words that I'd like you to use, something along these lines, to describe this podcast. And thank you for sharing. And by doing that, not only encouraging your audience to share your show, you're giving them the tools to do it the proper way for better results for them, for you, and the person they're talking to. So don't forget to give your audience the terminology, the words, the thought, the theme, the feel that you want them to tell their friends about your show. Give them the tools to do what you're asking them to do, not just a to-do list. It's going to make a better results for you and for everyone involved. If you need help kind of crafting this, howtopodcast.ca.